Hello loves, my name is K.Hill of LocStars.com and I want to welcome you to this evening's CurlChat, whether you're watching tonight or maybe on the replay. If you are going to view this on the replay, be sure to type replay in the comments so that I know that you've stopped by, and I'll circle back to answer any questions that might come up. But for those of you that joined me this evening, thank you for tuning in. I, again, am K.Hill. Looks like Dino has joined in. Hey, Dino. Glad that you stopped by. I am K.Hill of LocStars.com, your online home for all things curls, coils, kinks, and locks. And tonight, we are going to be talking about lint in locks. I know it's kind of a taboo topic for some. For others, you know, it might just be a pesky annoyance. But I wanted to hop on tonight and give a few tips to my LocStars to let you know that there is help. And tonight we're going to go over some tips. I want to know, have you been using hair dye because you're just so frustrated with the lint and you don't know, and the buildup, and you don't know what else to do? Let me know in the comments if that is you. And I'm glad you're here if that is, because I have got some solutions for you. Now, I'm not opposed to dyeing your hair, but I want to let you know that there are other options for you if you don't want to go to that extreme in order to get rid of the lint and the buildup. But first, let's talk about why it's even there to begin with. Now, some say it's unavoidable. I do happen to believe that you're going to get lint, you know, no matter what. Lint actually happens to all of us, but because of the nature of the dreadlock, it gets caught, it gets trapped, and it tends to stay. Whereas with looser hair or finer hair, it comes out with the shedding process, it comes out with daily brushing, you know, things of that nature. But since the dreadlock, you're not doing those types of things to your hair, when the lint gets attached to your hair, it tends to stay. Now, when it comes to the product buildup, that's a whole other story. A lot of times when we're first getting started with our locks, depending on the texture of your hair, you might have a harder time getting it to mat and lock. And so a lot of times people will use different hair products to kind of facilitate that process or speed up that process. And even though it does hold the hair temporarily and it gives it a nice look, you know, depending on, who's styling your hair, there is the repercussions down the line. And one of those repercussions is the product buildup. That like if you're using wax, if you're using different pomades and different things, that stuff will start to build up in your locks and it will get trapped, it will solidify, and then you start to see like this dullish gray tinge to your hair. And that's because of the product buildup that has occurred. Now, it's always best to use natural solutions, right? I'm a firm advocate of natural solutions and natural products. So my first recommendation is to avoid those types of heavy hair products in the first place. But a lot of times, you know, it's a journey. We're learning things as we go, and you might not discover that until it has already happened. In that case, here are a few tips for you. Now, the first one, you know, you may have heard of an ACV rinse. Now, what an ACV rinse is, an apple cider vinegar rinse. And apple cider vinegar is great for dissolving that buildup, you know, and now when you use it, what you want to do is dilute it in distilled water, and you dip your locks and kind of squeeze them to kind of massage and loosen that buildup that might be in the locks. Now be prepared, because when you do this, you're going to release a lot of buildup and your sink will kind of look gross after the fact. But that's a good sign. That's a good sign because it means that it is working and it's getting out. Now, depending on how much product buildup you have, you will have to do it a couple of times. Now, some people have reported that it makes their hair feel dry. This is quite possible. If you are concerned about that, or if your hair tends to be on the dry side anyway, then follow up with some natural hair oils. I like to use Coconut oil, jojoba oil is a light oil, so if you have finer hair, that would be great. If you have a thicker hair texture, you can handle a heavier oil, which would be castor oil or something like that. But castor oil is quite heavy, so if you don't have to go that far, then don't. It just depends on your hair texture. But back to the ACV rinse. ACV rinse is a great way to remove the product buildup. The other thing that you could use is a clay mask. And what I recommend is bentonite clay. Bentonite is known for drawing out toxins and impurities. And you might at first think, okay, I want to get the gunk out, but I'm going to put gunk in. Because when you mix up the bentonite clay paste, it does kind of look like gunk. But don't worry about that, because it has like a magical effect almost. Basically, it's going to go in there like little soldiers, clean out the mess, and you can rinse it away. The other thing is, I have actually a tool called the Lint Lifter Lock Tweezer. And I'll show you. This is the tool right here. And it basically looks and performs just like a hair tweezer, see? But the thing is, it's plastic and it has a very fine point, as opposed to, you know, like an eyebrow tweezer, which is metal and has a slanted point. So the benefit of it having that very fine point and being of that different material is that it will not rip your locks. And it's important to note that, because you don't want to ruin the integrity of your locks as you're trying to get the lint out. Now, of course, with the lint tool, the two other tips that I mentioned, you're doing that while the hair is wet, of course. That's a wet process. This is a dry process. Your hair is completely dry when you're using the lint tool, okay? And the important thing there is not to pull too hard. You really are just coaxing the lint to the surface of the hair, and then you're plucking it. You're not going to go in there and dig and try to, you know, get out like that. You're just gently kind of flicking the lint until it comes to the surface, and then you pluck it out. And that's how you use the lint lifter. Now, another tip is to use dry brushing. And I want to know, have you heard of dry brushing for locks? It's actually where you know, just like it sounds, you take maybe a soft bore bristle brush, or you can use a hard bore bristle, that's a tongue twister, hard bore bristle brush as well. And you just, you know, kind of lightly go along the surface of the locks, and that gets surface lint out. So if you have a little bit of lint, you know, or lint that has just accumulated, maybe you want to do that like once a week as a routine thing. Not too hard, because you don't want to disturb the lock, but you just want to brush lightly against the surface of the lock to get that out. And so those are my tips for getting lint out of your locks. Dino, you have any comments you want to add? I know you're kind of a natural hair aficionado as well. So if you have any tips that you would like to share, I'd be happy to have you drop a comment in there for us and for future watchers as well. Now, I have put something together for you, for my LocStars who like these tips but don't have a lot of time. I actually put together a Loc Detox DIY kit for you. And it has all the essentials that I just mentioned, so that you can perform your own lock detox at home. If you want, I will show it to you. This is my Loc Detox kit, and it comes actually with the boar bristle brush so that you can brush out the surface lint. It comes with the bentonite clay. Can you see that here? The bentonite clay. It also comes with the lint lifter lock tool that I mentioned. It comes with concentrated apple cider vinegar, and this is a small concentrated bottle of apple cider vinegar. What you do is, when you get this, you would pour it, you would mix it with a full bottle of distilled water or bottled water to release the proper amount, and then you mix it and make it into a paste with the bentonite clay. You don't always have to use the bentonite clay, but if you have a lot of product buildup, it will be helpful for you. Then I also have black liquid shampoo, which is great for clarifying as well. Then, as a special treat for you, I have the Dreadlocks Sleep Cap. Now, we don't want to do all of this work to get our locks looking so fresh and so clean once again, right? We're giving them a new life, and then we go back to doing the same old thing. So what I'd like you to do is use your satin sleep cap, so that when you're rubbing up against your pillow or your cotton bed sheets, that lint is accumulating as well. And so if you have something on your hair to keep it, and even when you're laying on the couch watching Netflix and chilling, you always want to keep something on your hair to prevent that lint and extra fibers from building up on your hair. Always think about that. And then I have an extra large, you see how long that is? Shower cap. It's a disposable shower cap. So you use this when you put the apple cider vinegar or the paste over your hair. Some people, will sit there with their hair dipped into the water, but you don't want to do that. But you do want to give it time to dissolve. So if you want to put the satin cap on, if you want to put the plastic cap on and like finish fixing dinner, you can do that. So it's great for that. And last but not least, again with prevention, I have the microfiber hair drying towel. Now, this is recommended, microfiber is recommended over cotton towels because the cotton towels, again, will, shed and put the lint back in the hair. So that is all that's contained in the Loc Detox box. I have it ready for you. It's available on the site. Just go to LocStars.com and click on the store, and you'll find it there on the very first page, or you can type in Loc Detox, and it will come up in search as well. Either way, I made it convenient for you because I am here. My goal, my mission is to make your natural hair journey and your lock journey a heck of a lot easier. And so I provide different tools, different strategies. I have information on the blog as well. It looks like Tia joined us. Hi, Tia. Thanks for stopping by. But I have lots of resources, including hair accessories and hair maintenance tools that will make your hair journey a heck of a lot easier. Looks like Anita has stopped by. Anita is actually aka Mumlasakola. So I want to thank you for stopping by too. But you've caught me at the end. Do you guys have any comments? Let me know. I'll wait a few seconds to see if you have any comments, and we can have a little bit of dialogue going back and forth here. I'm so glad that you dropped in. But yeah, so for my LocStars out there, if you are experiencing lint in your locks and product buildup, I do also have a blog post on the website that goes over the different tips that I discussed here. But check out that Loc Detox box because it is convenient and makes it great for you to handle that, and then we can start again, start fresh with the new information that you have. Because once again, locking your hair, it's a journey, it's a process. And so be patient with yourself, be understanding, and always be searching for new ways to improve your lock journey. And if there's anything I can help with, feel free to leave a comment and I'll circle back and answer any questions that you may have. Again, my name is K.Hill of LocStars.com, your online home for all things curls, coils, kinks, and locks. So until next time, I want you to be well, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.